Hey, what's going on YouTube? Here we have gold, silver, and copper. I think copper, yeah, we're all on a weekly. We're still all bullish, right? We broke the trend lines on the weekly, except for copper. I was shouting that watch previous high breaks on copper and maybe take a ride to the next trend line. So that hasn't popped yet. Silver hasn't popped as much as gold. And here we are. The 8 is crossing the 35 on gold. Expect the price to come down somewhere, hopefully right around here. And then, silver, 8 and 13 hasn't crossed. The 8 just barely crossed the 13. So expect through time that price is going to have to come down, meet its maker at the 34 and 8 as price and EMA come and touch each other. Price is going to have to bounce off the 8 sometime. Hopefully it's at the same time as the 34. If price breaks down and pops the 8, it's also breaking below the 34. We might see some more bearish activity. Here's the thing on gold. Let me go back a little bit. That 8 that I so want to break and stay above the 34, it's only happened once, twice, and then broken down. Here, doesn't count. You see what I'm talking about? The 8 is above the weekly. We're bullish. This retracement is real. Hopefully, on gold, we can stay above that. I would call it a pivot point. Silver, 8 hasn't crossed yet. So through time, we're going to have to see that 8 cross and help the 13 across. Copper, haven't seen any movement, but this is the best right shoulder out of silver and gold so far. So you see what I'm getting at. All three of them are different, but the same. They all have reversal head and shoulders patterns, but on the chart, they're all different. So expect to see gold, silver. We need much more consolidation. I mean, it busted out way too fast, too high, and we're gonna need some. Whenever these kind of things break out like that, it needs a lot of time to recover. All right, so here's crude. I think on a daily, we're looking at crude bouncing here. We're looking at crude trying to get over that daily trend line. We have a double bottom. We've got an uptrend. Right now we're working. You can see that it busted above the 34, came down to the 8, and now it's going to try to break again. And there's no indication that this is going to reversal unless we call this a whipsaw. If this breaks previous lows, this is a whipsaw. I would imagine that this double bottom will be taken out. And on a dollar, what are we looking at here? We see a break, came down, came to the 13, and look at this inverted hammer. Now, is this an inverted hammer on a bottom, or is this a falling star on a top pattern as a whole? I don't know yet. We'll see. Deutsche Bank, I just want to make a correction from last, excuse me, the weekly review that I had. I saw this as a hammer. It actually didn't close as a hammer. That's not a hammer. I remember that it was very fascinating that I saw a hammer on the weekly close on Deutsche Bank. It didn't close that way. Somehow in the middle of the night they rehashed this candle. That's what I get for having a free service. Anyways, we're still bearish. I think there's a weekly chart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row. We get a little bounce. And not much action after that, you know? We got one day. It opened on the previous high and is bearish. So open down for the week. S&P, we have a double bottom. Here, let me get some lines in here real quick. So it's coming on its daily break, but I would say it's the same as crude. It's just lagging. Don't know what to say other than the fact that it could break daily, could reach previous highs. But the weight of this thing is on the monthly, right? We keep talking about this monthly, how the wave is crashing. Right now, all we can see is whitewater and this wave falling on itself. Right now, we get a nice retracement. It's still on a monthly, closing below the trend line there, the 34 moving average. But we got 2 weeks left. Anything could happen. We could see back up to 2000. You can see where the 8 is. Eventually, it's going to have to reach its equilibrium. So there we have it. We got bullish retracements on gold and silver. Copper still needs to run. Oil, Deutsche Bank, the US dollar. Let's look at the US dollar on a weekly. It's retracing, right? Let's get that line in there. It's still retracing back to the line. I imagine it's going to retrace and it's going to falter. S&P, same thing. It's bearish. It's just retracing. So we have bullish retracements on gold and silver, bearish retracements on the others, and that's the way it's going. So if you're short on the market, wait for this thing to hit that 34, watch a previous low break, which would be 18, take a ride. I haven't seen any good news out there. Very confusing news about OPEC, Saudi Arabia, and Russia making a deal. But then you turn around and you're like, why is Saudi Arabia and Turkey have, you know, all their troops lined up on the Syrian border? So there's oil deals going on, or there isn't. There's war going to happen, or there isn't. It's very confusing news out there, and I think a lot of people are confused about what's going on. And quite frankly, I'm just going to stack gold and silver, make sure I got the necessities if something really, really hits the fan. And be safe out there. Appreciate you guys, and share, like, and let me know what's going on out there. Thanks, guys.